We've got some things to talk about, guys. We've been kind of sifting through all of the shit that's been going on for the past day, and more news is coming out right now. And this is arguably one of the biggest one from Destiny Bulletin right here. New Bungie layoffs seemingly include co-founder Jason Jones. A warrant filing lists chief vision officer among the affected roles. Jones was previously Bungie's CVO for an official press release and a Destiny 2 showcase in 2021. If you're looking at this and you're like, all right, well, co-founder, what is, yes. From the very beginning here, guys. Some would say the father of Bungie. Jason Jones was that person that when you made the game, you brought it to him and, he either liked your shit or he axed your shit, Like OG Marathon. Guys, this guy created everything. Yes, Bungie was his company. Bungie layoffs seemingly include co-founder and chief vision officer Jason Jones. Bungie confirmed today that it is moving forward with another major round of layoffs, marking one of the hardest moments yet for the Destiny studio. In its official statement, the company said Destiny 2 had fallen short of expectations over the past several years, and that after the game's final live service content update, Bungie could no longer keep operating at its previous size. Sony later shared more details through an internal email from Herman Hulse, CEO of the studio business group at Sony Interactive Entertainment. In that message, Hulse said Sony had made the decision to reduce Bungie's workforce, affecting a significant number of employees, including most of the Destiny team and some Marathon team members. This right here, including most of the Destiny team and Marathon team members, I'm not even going to call them the Marathon community. See, there's the Marathon community, which are actively playing Marathon. They understand the room. They understand the situation. They understand that this is not good for them either. But then there's the Marathon Twitter community, which is just a cesspool. I watched in real time yesterday as individuals in this Marathon Twitter community go from, hell yeah, the focus is on us, to, oh my God, they're laying off Marathon developers too? Yeah, no shit. I told you guys. We're in the same motherfucking boat. It's one Titanic here. On top of that, Bungie's also facing reported leadership changes. Bloomberg Jason Schreier reported the studio head Justin Truman is stepping down after taking over the role last year. Separately, insider Paul Tass reported that Poria Torkin, Bungie's former VP of operations, is now running the studio, though Bungie has not officially announced that change yet. I actually did some research on Poria last night, and I even talked to a few people that worked alongside Poria. They say he's a very nice guy, very intelligent guy, very capable guy. Where his expertise is, it's not necessarily in the game development side, but in the marketing side and the licensing side, overseeing things like the NetEase licensing agreement with Bungie for Destiny Rising. You can draw conclusions from this. I mean, we might be jumping the gun until I see official statement from Bungie. We'll wait, but you can draw conclusions from that there could be a future here where Bungie's or Sony's strategy will be to just license Destiny out. That does not mean they're going to license out D3. That's never going to happen. What I'm really talking about is more like mobile-like games. Maybe like a Destiny board game. Stuff like that. You see where I'm coming from? Essentially, Poria is the perfect guy for overseeing the downsizing and licensing of an IP. Whereas even though we give Justin Truman a lot of hell, he's a trained guy, but Justin Truman is he is a creative guy. He's worked on Destiny directly for years. If we were going to get a Destiny 3, Justin Truman would actually be the better man for the job when you're in a state of expansion. Poria, it seems like he's the man for the job in the state of contraction, in the state of licensing. Now we have even more concerning news from the layoff paperwork itself. Bungie warrant filing lists chief vision officer role among the affected positions. So a new warrant, this is the Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act, filing submitted in Washington State on behalf of Sony Interactive Entertainment, and Bungie lists the affected roles tied to the company's Bellevue facility. The filing says the reduction in force is approximately 292 employees. Let me tell you something about the 292, because some people saw that and they go, oh wow, oh, it's only 292. I thought it was going to be 400. That's 292 just in the Washington area. That does not include people working remote, the people on the SIE side, of course, the people working in media. There's definitely more than this. That doesn't include contractors either. I don't know about that. I just know that this just encompasses Washington. Now, the most notable detail is that one of the listed jobs title is Chief Vision Officer. Bungie's Chief Vision Officer has been Jason Jones, the studio's co-founder and one of the most important creative figures in the company's history. Jones' role as Chief Vision Officer has been public for years. Bungie listed him with the title in its 2021 studio expansion announcement, and the same title also appeared during Destiny 2's 2021 showcase, where Jones was introduced as Bungie's Chief Vision Officer. That said, the filing does not list employee names in the public copy, so this is not direct confirmation that Jones himself was laid off. What it does show is that the Chief Vision Officer role appears in the affected role list, which seemingly points to Jones, unless Bungie has quietly changed that title internally. Well, let me just say this. A Chief Vision Officer is a senior executive responsible for shaping a company's long-term strategic direction and anticipating future market trends. The filing also says affected employees were notified June the 25th, 2026, with separation expected to take effect on July the 9th, 2026. It adds that employees will receive notice and pay in lieu of notice to meet the 60-day warn requirements. The role list also includes several senior and leadership positions, including Chief Vision Officer, Game Director, Managing Director of Technology, Director of Development, Engineering Director, Principal Brand Manager, Principal Engineer, Principal Artist, and several lead-level roles. Who the f*** is going to be running shit? Well, you say game director's gone. Does that mean Tyson Green? I hope not, dude. If this does involve Jason Jones, it would be a major symbolic moment from Bungie. Jones helped build Bungie from its earliest days and played a key role across Marathon, Halo, and Destiny. That name to now be connected to a layoff filing, even indirectly, says a lot about how deep this restructuring appears to go. It really is, guys. It's Bungie in name. The list of key people that have departed over the years or have been let go over the years, it's staggering. When I look and I see Chris Proctor, Joe Blackburn, Dave Samuels, you're talking very key people who you've seen multiple times, by the way, over the years with various Vidocs who were making Destiny for us. The problem, what I've seen online, and guys, y'all find me the tweet on this. What I've been seeing online is that yesterday were the layoffs that were given out, and then July is going to see essentially more departures. I guess because this would be the final vesting of stock, and that's y'all can find it. But that's what's being said right now, is that July we can expect to see more departures. This sucks, but wasn't leadership something we knew needed to get hit? I mean, someone was making these subpar decisions for Bungie, so surely there aren't so out of left field. I don't know, man. I don't really, you know what I mean? Like, are you saying we should place the blame of Marathon on Jason Jones? I mean, if he's the Chief Vision Officer, maybe, perhaps. Do you look at a guy like Jason Jones and you go, hey, you brought us Myth, Oni, OG Marathon, the trilogy with that, Halo, all the Halos, concluded it with Reach, went independent with your studio, gave us Destiny, went independent again, gave us the Light and Darkness Saga. Do you just look at this guy and go, fuck you? You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not saying Marathon obviously wasn't a colossal fuck up, but you just go 30 something years of a pretty good batting average, but fuck you. You know what I mean? As a sports fan, that's how it is, though. You can acknowledge past accomplishments while also seeing the underperformance of now. All right, so say that's the case. There was a team that once thought that their quarterback was out of its prime. They wrote him off. They said, he's way past his prime. He can't do it again. And that motherfucker's name was Tom Edward Patrick Brady. You want to make these analogies. I'm not saying Jason Jones is Tom Brady or anything, but hold up now. You're right. We can only look at the now, but there have been times in the past where some have gazed upon that old dog and thought, it don't got no fight in it no more. Must put it down. And then that old dog ends up leaving, going to another team, assembling a squad, and getting another Super Bowl victory. I gotta say, that's pretty fucking good. You said you're a sports guy. That's, you know, that's all. I'm just throwing that one out. Yeah, but we live in a world of what have you done for me lately? Again, I'm not vouching for Jason Jones. I've never met Jason Jones. I've never worked with Jason Jones. I've never talked to Jason Jones. I have no idea how active Jason Jones actually was on Bungie projects. What I can tell you is that the people that were laid off yesterday were people that directly worked on Destiny, and even some working on Marathon, and they put their life and soul into those games. And those people we do know. Jason Jones, what his position, what his role was, I have no idea. I will say it's not a good feeling, I would think. Some of you go, it doesn't matter. He made probably mega millions of dollars. He doesn't care. I beg to differ. I know people that start companies. It's their baby. It's their life. And to be pushed out of your own company, I don't care how many millions of dollars you got. That ain't a good feeling. This is the payout tweet you were referencing. Bungie's Sony deal closed July 15, 2022. The WARN notice says employees' last day is July 9th, 2026, 6 days before the 4-year anniversary. If any acquisition-related stock or retention grants were set to vest on the 15th, Sony may have cut people just before their final payout. Well, you know, maybe that's exactly what's taking place. If you think everything's gone to shit, Sony could be like, all right, cut everybody. Cut anyone that might be getting these last, I don't know how much it would be with these last investment. Again, it would have still been split. I would think it would be split equally across all these years. I don't know. I don't think it would be like, it wouldn't be pushed back all to this last day or anything like that. So we'll see. Yeah, so essentially what I'm getting from this is that just expect more departures, right? Come July the 9th. Literally right here after 4th of July. Expect more departures. Cross Destiny Bulletin has Marathon senior leaders getting to access well. Sony's Bungie layoffs hit Marathon senior roles, including general manager, engineering director, and more. Sony's latest round of Bungie layoffs is already one of the biggest shakeups the studio has faced in years. The cuts come after Destiny 2 wrapped its final live service content update, with Bungie now moving into a very different future under Sony. The impact reaches across several areas. Sony has confirmed that most of the Destiny team was affected, along with some Marathon staff and SIE teams that supported Bungie's operations, while reports have already said that essentially all of Destiny's team was gutted in this week's layoffs. We now have more details on how things are looking on the Marathon side as well. Marathon senior roles that were hit. According to WARN, the Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act, layoffs filings submitted by Sony Interactive Entertainment and Bungie, the cuts affect around 292 employees. Again, these are just in Washington state. Some roles are listed under Goliath, which was Marathon's internal code name during development. Other roles use Run, which is also tied to Marathon's team structure. Taken together, the affected Marathon-related roles include the Goliath General Manager, the Engineering Director, the Marathon Senior Producer, the Senior Art Producer, the Story Editor, Goliath Associate UX Designer, the Run Creative Leader, Run Art Leader, Run Test Leader. Again, this is all related to Marathon. The senior leadership in Bungie is getting let go. Isn't this what gamers have been demanding? Brother, it's way more than just leadership. Nearly 400 some people got let go. How many leaders do you think are at Bungie? You know what I mean? And by the way, to say like there are people, for instance, the new studio head. We'll see how Poria does. I mean, but I will say Poria, you know, he's been at Bungie for a while, but he also has connections to Guerrilla Games. Why is that important? He worked with Herman. And who's the CEO? Herman. You see how that works? Wait, Chris Proctor went to Guerrilla Games? Did he really? Well, can I just say, I like Guerrilla Games. This is not a jab at Guerrilla Games. But what I'm saying is, I'm sure the new studio head is, I've been told he's capable. He's more on the marketing and licensing side, which tells us that I wouldn't expect there to be much expansion going on with Bungie. What's going to happen is, how can we extract as much value out of the IPs that we own? And that's going to entail probably licensing out some of the Bungie IPs, mobile games. Who knows? Maybe some random card games. You see where I'm coming from? You might get another Destiny mobile game of some sort. It won't be Destiny 3. It'll specifically be in other markets. Oh, yeah. You don't have somebody like him as the studio head now. Everything is going to be cost driven. Everything's going to get cut down. But these right here, these positions, guys, those are big positions. That's on the Marathon side. It's also very likely that these are not the only Marathon related roles affected by the layoffs. These are only the roles that specifically include Marathon, Goliath, or Run in the title, since many roles in the filing use broader titles like designer, engineer, artist, producer, test lead, and more. And it's possible the Marathon team members were also affected, but are not easy to identify from the public filing alone. Oh no, dude. Oh my God. From our search, these are the higher up public title matches tied to the affected roles. Scott Taylor is listed as Marathon's general manager in the game's credit. Taylor's LinkedIn profile also states his Marathon role ran from March 2019 to June 2026, with an end date meaning the position is no longer active. Now, you may feel some kind of way about Scott, but this was also the guy who brought us Forsaken. I have heard from many people on the Destiny side that they would love to have this guy back on Destiny. And I think the intention was to move him back from Marathon to Destiny. I do believe that there was an internal plan. I believe there was an internal plan. I got nothing to back this up, but you know, folks like Scott here, I believe Marathon, it was to get Marathon out the door, cycle these guys back on, green light at D3, and these are the same individuals that brought you Forsaken. They know what the f they're doing. Obviously, like Marathon, whether it hit for you or not, whatever. But we know they know how to make a looter shooter. The whole Marathon endeavor really was a bullet to the head. It just was late, guys. Look, Marathon was going to be an okay enough play, but it was supposed to come out in 2024. It kept getting pushed back, man. Kept getting pushed back. Scope creep is real. We watched the Jason Schreier video here recently. We know how much money that adds on. We know how much it messes up the rest of the studio. Isn't it cheaper to outsource than hire and fire a bunch of people? You know, let me just say this. The whole magic wave of Magic One and outsource, I don't know how it works for other industries. But let me just tell you what happens in the construction world. You'll have a general contractor come in and they'll bid a job. They'll have nobody on their crews. They'll have no concrete crew, no dirt crew, site work, no fucking surveyors. They sub it all out. You know how many times they come in high? Every fucking time, which means they don't get the job. It's when you actually have everything in-house, when you got your own fabricators, you got your own crews, you got your own steel people. When you were able to do everything in-house, you have control over pricing. You do have to keep more work on the books, but you have control over pricing, which allows you to come in lower on bids. And if you outsource everything out, you might say that's cheaper, but there's a level of control that's lost with that. But anytime you have to outsource things out, you're now at the mercy of these other companies, their ability to perform, their quality, and even if they are even aligned with what it is, your timelines. I just keep seeing this magic. Everyone keeps waving this Magic One. They're like, Magic One, outsource everything, Magic One. And it's like, no, if that's the case, no one would have fucking studios. Contractor's supposed to be a support role, not something you rely on as permanent roles. Yeah, that's the way I always looked at it. Brad Fish and Eamon McKenzie, who are publicly listed in Marathon's credits under engineering director roles, since the filing only lists one Marathon engineering director role and names are redacted, it is not possible to say which person the filing refers to. I can tell you right now, man, losing is just, Scott is such a huge blow, dude. This comes as Bungie is also facing major leadership changes. Bloomberg's Jason Schreier reported that the studio head, Justin Truman, is stepping down less than a year after taking over from Pete Parsons. There's also another major senior role listing in the layoff paperwork, Chief Vision Officer, that being Jason Jones, as we previously covered. For now, Sony says Marathon remains an important part of its portfolio and that it will continue to support the team. Still seeing senior Marathon roles listed among the layoffs paints a rougher picture. Well, let me just say this. Didn't Sony also say Concord was an important part of its portfolio? Like a week before they axed everything? I just don't really again, watch what they do, not what they say. I think the main takeaway is this. Sony was looking at all the big payouts they were going to do. And I think they just went in there. And if everyone in these veteran roles got the axe, but you not only did they get the axe, but anyone on their team, because it's like, all right, well, we just took out the main team lead in these certain categories. So I think they just went through and axed everybody. And again, as we get into July, primarily July the 9th, you're probably going to see the other departures. We don't know, Smiths. That's what I was saying. Like, as more and more of this information is coming out, we'll see who else is being cut. But these are key people, guys. These are key veteran people. Why are we covering this? Because this tells me there ain't no way in hell you're going to make a Destiny 3. The reason why I'm telling you this, though, is we must accept the truth. We must accept that fact. There is no elaborate strategy where Sony is doing all this so then they can focus on Destiny 3. You can't make a Destiny 3 if you don't have these key people. Everything right now is getting chopped down to costs, and it's all going to be, from this point on for Destiny, not to Destiny 3, it's going to be licensing Destiny shit out amongst any of the other IPs if they have any value.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.